And what do we have here? A screenshot from the Robinhood app showing overnight trading on Tesla with the stock overnight, e.g. during out-of-market hours trading, low volumes, up 5.5%. This question posed by Ray. Why is Tesla stock up so much right now on Robinhood? Did I miss anything? Well, Ray, yesterday, Elon Musk formally endorsed Donald Trump to be the new US president. Now, these two events may be entirely unrelated. Who knows where Tesla stock actually ends up? But it's not that common to see Tesla stock up by this kind of number, 5.5%, outside of usual trading hours, pre-market. Obviously, of course, the fake news has been telling us that Elon bad and Elon having opinions bad and Elon expressing opinions bad and Elon expressing political opinions ultra bad. Case in point, from the Irish Times, quote, Musk's Trumpian politics are hurting Tesla. Now, I believe when he refers to Trumpian politics, he's referring to things such as wanting a secure border, being opposed to an endless flood of undocumented illegal people entering the United States, being opposed to the genital mutilation of children, the sterilization of children, extremely Trumpian, controversial issues like that. The Daily Mail also told us Elon Musk's embrace of right-wing politics caused reputational downfall and halving of interest in Tesla vehicles since 2024, according to a report. The company's stock values are down nearly 30% already this year, which obviously proves that Elon bad and Elon having opinions is really bad. This, of course, published back in April. We've seen countless headlines like this, right? Musk's Trumpian politics are hurting Tesla. Elon Musk divides Australians. Elon Musk's embrace of right-wing politics, blah, blah, blah. Would-be Tesla buyers snub company. Elon's politics scaring away buyers. Elon Musk's conservative politics turn off Tesla customers. Blah, blah, blah. And obviously, Tesla stock collapsing overnight is an early indication that these articles in the fake news were extremely accurate, which is why a formal endorsement of Orange Man bad has caused the stock to implode. But that's not what happened. How curious. Now, to be clear, it is absolutely true that a small minority of very loud, brain-damaged lunatics out there get extremely butthurt, and I mean like catastrophically butthurt, when they hear Elon Musk express a certain opinion. Some people have their heads so firmly up their own ass, which, I mean, maybe they're into that they just can't handle it, and they kick and scream and shout from the rooftops. However, in the big picture, they do not matter. Tesla makes incredible products. Consumers love them. Kids love them. 99.9% of people don't give a flying fuck about the owner of the company or his opinions, whether they agree or disagree. It's just the very vocal 0.1% of extremely insecure virtue signaling morons who need to scream to everybody, Elon bad, I'm embarrassed to drive a Tesla, buy the Rivian instead. Oh, why is this guy on screen? Steve Lies, man. CNBS's senior economics reporter. Now, why would this profile happen to be on the account as I'm talking about butthurt virtue signaling babies who represent the vast minority but are rather loud? What's this? A post on X, which, by the way, I have confirmed was posted and has since been deleted. This is legitimate. I'm just going to read this from Steve Lies, man, again, of CNBS, who posted this yesterday, breaking my Twitter silence. Oh, who do we report? Like, what? Who's his boss? What's the phone number? I need to report him for dead naming X as Twitter. That's so hateful. Breaking my X silence to urge people not to believe anything they read on this site without verifying. It's amazing hearing this coming from an NPC who works in the media, right? By the way, hilarity. Breaking my X silence. So obviously this guy, I mean, I'm not going to check, but what are the odds? Musk buys Twitter. Suddenly, Steve, Elon bad, stops posting on the website. He continues, it is the place I turn to learn what lies and BS are being told about an event, especially from the crank who owns the joint, e.g. Elon Musk. What a dangerous and wasteful use of space. Now, Steve wasn't looking in the mirror describing himself then. This was, in fact, a post describing Elon Musk and X, literally yesterday, which Steve curiously has since deleted. How interesting. It's very easy to get the erroneous impression that people like Steve represent the majority. In fact, this is a fringe opinion from an absolute lunatic who, after this emotional outburst, has since deleted it. If someone were thinking rationally and reasonably, why would they be posting something and then changing their mind and deleting it? Clearly, there were no claims that he's since discovered were inaccurate. He didn't say something happened and didn't happen. So he hasn't been fact-checked on something, right? This is all just opinion. So I could understand if you'd posted something and it turned out, oh wait, that was not true. I posted something, but I've realized it's not. Okay, I've got to delete that. This is not the case. He's just expressing his very loud and unimportant opinion. But these are the kind of people with a megaphone that can create the false perception among dimwits that someone like Elon Musk having opinions is harming Tesla, harming sales, harming the brand. People with extremely small brains look for easy answers to a problem. Interest rates are through the roof. Economy's in the shitter. People can't afford to pay their mortgage. Food costs have doubled, tripled just to buy groceries in the last few years. Less consumers willing to pay premium prices for premium products, including the second largest purchase they'll ever make, a vehicle. Challenges selling through vehicle volumes. At the same time, by the way, that used car prices have plummeted following the absolute surge during the scamdemic, the shutdown, supply chain shocks, meaning consumers looking at purchasing a vehicle can now buy a used vehicle for a fraction of the price they could a couple of years ago. Let's ignore all of that, plus the overall cyclical nature of the automotive industry, and instead assume the only possible solution to this problem is Elon had opinions, therefore Elon bad, therefore Tesla struggling, therefore I don't need to think about that anymore. That's the obvious solution. Yet you would think, after all, we just heard from the media, Elon's Trumpian policies after the man has formally endorsed Donald Trump. I mean, it doesn't get more clear cut than that. You'd think if the media were right, as opposed to extremely left, see what I did there, that we may not see this kind of a reaction. Just a bit of food for thought. Just wanted to share this, posted by AJ over on X. ICE vehicle market share in China. October 2019, internal combustion engine vehicles made up 96.6% of monthly vehicle sales in China. June 2024, internal combustion engine vehicle sales made up just 51.6% of all new vehicles sold in China in that month. Okay, I'm going to say this really clearly. Internal combustion engine vehicle sales have collapsed. They've halved in less than 5 years. The reason this data from China matters so much is because China is a leading indicator for what the rest of the automotive industry globally will look like a few years from now. China began moving fairly aggressively towards electric vehicles a few years before anyone other than Tesla outside of China. This is the same shape and pattern we are going to see everywhere with a delay of a couple of years. Now, to be clear, last year, roughly 10% of all new vehicles sold globally were electric, fully electric, the only kind of electric. If the data we were seeing here were global, that figure would be not around 10%, but roughly 5 times. Take note, it wasn't until roughly the beginning of 2021 where internal combustion engine vehicles in China fell below 90% of all new vehicles sold. 3.5 years later, we're now just over 50%. I've been saying for years that we will see a collapse, an accelerating collapse, a death spiral in internal combustion engine vehicle sales. And this data is showing that playing out now in China. This is one of the many reasons that I continue to point out that government incentives, buy this, don't buy this, here's an incentive, here's some money, here's some lack of money. None of that fucking matters. Why? The price of electric vehicles is declining predictably over time as they scale up, as there's new innovations in manufacturing, supply chains built out, benefits from more scale, as companies tear down each other's products and learn how to manufacture them more efficiently, drive costs out, especially battery costs coming down. The value proposition of an electric vehicle becomes increasingly more compelling over time. And it is possible now in the United States to buy an electric vehicle, a Tesla, for a little bit less than the average new vehicle price. That doesn't mean everyone can afford them because the average isn't the median. It's weighted heavily because of the higher end purchase prices. But that's not where it stops. They're going to keep coming down in price, meaning they're going to become increasingly more compelling. A literal no-brainer. It's easy today as a consumer to not consider purchasing an electric vehicle if you can't get one that's reasonable within your budget. But a few years from now, electric vehicles will be within the budget of just about everybody who would be in a position to buy an ICE vehicle. Suddenly, it's a total no-brainer. This is a shockingly violent collapse in sales from a market just a few years ahead of most of the rest of the world. Just a quick friendly reminder that companies today still have publicly stated goals in which they expect to be selling any internal combustion vehicles. I mean, it's just baffling that some companies still today have publicly stated goals where they believe that they will be selling electric vehicles to consumers 2035, 2034, 2033, 2030. What are they smoking? And can I have some? Another point. What will the future of the global automotive market look like? As I've said before, going back many years, and I will continue to say, it's already playing out. In terms of vehicles sold per year, the future of the global automotive market, the top 10 companies, 9 of them, maybe 8, maybe 7 in the worst case, will be based in China. One of them, Tesla, based in the US. That's the future of the global automotive market. No amount of hope is going to change this. We're going to see a catastrophic implosion in the automotive industry. Companies that today still produce internal combustion engine vehicles, and I think they see it coming. That's why these companies are trying to manipulate some dumb consumers into buying internal combustion engine vehicles with a tiny battery inside them. Oh, look, hybrids are the future. No, they're just tricking you into buying a hybrid so that they can milk out a little bit of a profit for a couple more years before they go bust. They see the writing on the wall. Remember, this red line here, we're going to see the exact same collapse with hybrids, although delayed by maybe a year or two, because like I said, these companies, through manipulation, propaganda, advertising, can in fact trick brand loyal consumers who aren't super sharp into buying a hybrid vehicle before they realize that that was a really dumb idea. On the flip side, as we see internal combustion vehicle sales collapse, we are going to see electric vehicle sales surge to fill the gap. And no amount of opinions from leaders of companies producing electric vehicles is going to change this inevitable outcome. Now, it's going to be rather interesting to see what happens to Tesla stock when the market opens. However, interesting signal overnight. So much for, hey, Elon, stop having opinions. This endorsement of President Trump, obviously the biggest and most controversial of all. And finally, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Endorsement or not, Trump as US president 2024 or not, it's not going to make any difference to Tesla, at least no meaningful difference. EVs are commercially inevitable. As prices continue to decline and the value proposition becomes increasingly compelling, and consumers who today literally can't even have the option, can't afford an electric vehicle, now have the choice, consumers will more widely adopt them. I mean, hello, here's a glimpse of the future on screen now. Tesla and Chinese EV manufacturers are set to dominate the decades to come. This is already a done deal and now just a matter of time. We will no doubt hear a lot of whiners, loud babies, having emotional outbursts following this endorsement of Trump, but it's going to make approximately zero difference to Tesla's future success. Want more content? Early access? A bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. And I haven't missed a daily video in more than 3 years. Must be a coincidence, right? Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. But don't take my word for it. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. By the way, viewer, that makes 2 of us. On to the next. Just got my AG1 in the mail. Legit feeling the effects after day 3. This viewer's been taking AG1 for 8 months and says, what an investment. Another. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? I mean, hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR or I can keep going. There's plenty more to come. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. If you're still skeptical, hey, I don't blame you. Everyone on the planet seems to be promoting AG1 now, but guess what? They weren't nearly 3 years ago when I had this to say privately to my Patreon audience before there was a relationship, when I was asked about what I was doing for my health, energy, and so on. Just sharing my genuine, honest thoughts about a product I'd recently discovered that was at the time called Athletic Greens, now AG1. If I could only recommend one supplement to take, Athletic Greens, and I'm not getting paid to say this, Athletic Greens is a fucking game changer. I cannot believe how effective this is. No longer having a lack of energy in the afternoons. It's fucking amazing. There's only one thing to recommend, seriously. Try Athletic Greens. You won't go back. So obviously, just like Elon Musk is a liar, a fraud, a con man, a scammer, a fake engineer, and Tesla's going bankrupt, you shouldn't trust that guy from about 3 years ago who, without any financial incentive, was promoting this product to his audience on Patreon when they were asking about health and what he's doing for supplements. Because obviously, there was some other reason he recommended that, obviously. Not sure what it was, but don't trust that guy. And all the testimonials, like my mental game has improved with AG1. I feel better than ever. I'm so impressed I've bought it for both my parents. I feel more focused and have better digestion. Incredible difference. No more afternoon fatigue. It's relieved gut issues. These are all just obviously fake testimonials from fake people. Right? Wrong. Just try it. Unless you hate yourself. If you hate yourself and you don't even want to risk possibly feeling better, this is not for you. But for everyone else, what's the worst that could happen? Try it for a month. See how you feel. It's a no-brainer. Just click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR. You'll get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 plus 5 travel packs. And you'll take the colossal risk that maybe you might have a similar experience to some of the people whose testimonials we've read in this video.